And we're back live on AFTV. This is a chance for all of you to have your say here on AFTV after a massive, massive win. You said you want to talk about VAR, which we are going to do, because you kind of wonder whether it kind of killed that moment a little bit with the goal, kind of the offside and all that. And I almost haven't fully internalised it because of that moment. Yeah. We've just scored a 90th minute winner against the most informed Man United I've seen in a long, long time. And we've now opened the gap back up to, 8 points on third with a game in hand, 5 points on second with a game in hand. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just what a way to win it. And we said it during the game, me and you, that this was a big test for Eddie Nketiah personally. This is someone who came in at the end of last season, picked up the slack where we'd got rid of Aubameyang and Lacazette was out of form, and I think was actually out as well. So it was Nketiah, and he'd done well. Then this season started. We brought Gabby Jesus in. Nketiah had a few sniffs, few games. He's scoring, but not putting in stellar performances. Since the World Cup, since Gabby's injury, he's been excellent in every game we've played. And today, I'm so happy for him. Yeah. 2 goals, and to score the winner like that, for his confidence, and they were important goals. The equaliser really soon after Rashford's goal, and then to, like you say, wrap up the game there with minutes to go. It's unbelievable, man.
It is unbelievable. I am buzzing. We're going to try and bring a little bit of composure to this discussion. We're going to try and bring a little bit of just structure and sort of go through the game, because there's so much to break down. From a first half that had its moments for Arsenal, but certainly was far from a flawless first half, and a second half in which Arsenal just had sustained pressure and yet still found a way to concede a goal. So there's lots to go through. But of course, I'm going to mention it again. I'll be mentioning it throughout the show. This is your chance to have your say, everyone. Again, it's, of course, Robbie, Cecil are there outside the ground doing fan cams. You will see them on the channel. But we know that we have such an unbelievable fan base from all around the world. And it's your chance to come on AFTV and have your say. Talk to us live. I know you've been sending in your videos. I know Harvey, for example, Stephen Alexander have been sending in your videos. And we've absolutely loved it, but we get to chat to you directly, and that is the most exciting thing about this feature, that we've launched it in the week with sort of news shows and reacting to stuff, but today it's the first time we're using it after a match. So I can see also nearly 5k of you in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and let's get on with the full match reaction. Now, I'm just seeing a comment about the audio, but that might just be the one, so okay. I'm just hearing it's a slight sync issue, but it's fine. It's getting sorted. Right, okay, let's start. Do you want to start with the end of the game and the euphoria and all that? I think probably best to, because that's what everyone's excited about. And then we'll go into the first half. Yeah. But talk about Eddie Nketiah, talk about his goals, talk about that win at the end, and what Arsenal showed in that second half to get the game over the line.
Yeah. I mean, just to, again, go on about it, I could talk about Eddie Nketiah all night. Easily, maybe even a 9. But for me, there were other performances on that pitch tonight, especially in that second half, that were excellent. But you can't look past Eddie Nketiah. Yeah. Now, older fans, given away my age, will remember maybe the last time we beat them 3-2 at home. I don't know if you've done it since. The other most famous one was in '98, the 97-98 season, when a young striker called Nicolas Anelka scored 2 goals against United and really made his name. And I'm so happy for Eddie Nketiah, because he's done it against a top team. We were saying it. He had good chances in that Spurs game. He had good chances. He had a few half chances in a tight Newcastle game, and he's answering all his critics. And for him to get those 2 goals today, that first one, getting in front of Saka like that, showing a real hunger to get that header. People see a header from 4 yards out and think tapping. Yeah, they don't see the work that goes into getting in that position.
Because he's had to manoeuvre his way around him.
He's had to be alert. And again, as someone who's played football, anyone who's played football knows, it's just those little things that make a difference. And then to winner, which we didn't celebrate, all right? We weren't live, but we thought it was offside.
I really thought he was offside, and the reason I thought he was offside was because I think he was the wrong side of Lisandro Martinez when he puts into the back of the net. In fact, we just listened to his interview on Sky, and he said as much. He said, I thought I was in line with Lisandro Martinez. I thought he wasn't. But then when they show it, it's Wan-Bissaka who looks like he's playing him on. Now, when the flag doesn't go up, I know we get onto officials. I do a lot. But clearly the linesman in real time has seen that and thought he's probably on. So they've had a look at it. And there's, I think, a lot of things that were playing a part in the goal. Was Zinchenko off? I think they deemed very early on that he was on. Then there was Nketiah offside with Wan-Bissaka, but then did it take another touch off the defender before it got to him anyway? And that would count as a deliberate touch. Yeah. So again, you question the offside rule a bit like last week with the Rashford one. Yeah. But ultimately, it's past Wan-Bissaka, get my head onto this brilliant cross. It was superb from Xhaka and put us level. And with the other one, it's if this ball comes to me, I've got to be alert. And it's not easy to get, again, it looks like tapping. Yeah. It's not easy to get your right foot at, you kick up, you kick back, but to kick it, almost at a sideways angle and just guide it towards goal. That's superb.
And again, it goes into that whole thing about being a striker and just getting in there. They say just get in the box and things will happen, things will break for you. And again, that's that kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? The preparation, if you will, or that readiness to pounce on anything. And he did it. He was in the right place at the right time. He got the touch that took it past De Gea. He had one before that, which was a really good save by De Gea, and you just thought was poor at that point. Well, in parts poor. We still looked the better team. But the second half, it was a different attitude. Even Martinelli, who we were getting onto, and we were saying he was poor, and it was probably right he came off. But he did better. It was like everyone was just more on the front foot. The passes was snappier, sharper. I don't know what your thoughts are about the whole second half.
Well, second half was much improved. By the way, I think we're having some audio issues. If we can just get a word from Bren on if it's all right, if we can power through, because obviously I see a lot of you commenting about it. What do we think, Brennan? Apologies, everyone, and I know it's frustrating. I know we're all super excited about the game, about the win, and what we're doing here on AFTV by allowing everyone to call in. It's a massive thing that we brought to the platform. We're really excited about it. So there are going to be some teething issues, of course. It's very new, but yes, we are here. So let us know if the audio is okay. And you asked me just before we went to that break about the second half, what I made of it. What I thought in the first half was Arsenal, as much as Man United have been impressive in terms of clearly they had a plan to try and get Rashford in behind. They were defending in a really organised manner. McTominay's position was fascinating. And Ten Hag said as much for the game. I did think, but it's very hard to judge how much of it is Man United's game plan because Arsenal was so sloppy in possession. Clearly in the second half they got talking to. They responded really well by getting that early Saka goal. They concede, but it was one-way traffic for the whole second half. I mean, Arsenal were in total control, and for that alone, I mean, okay, the ex-Arsenal, but just on the fact that Arsenal just looked on the eye simply the better team, is why they deserved the win.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question, right? Like, what was it? A good second half performance by us or part of their game plan? Was the first half performance poor by us or just very well executed by United? It's certainly a debate that can be had. Challenge. But I guess the answer to that is, when teams win titles, things have to fall your way. Sometimes you're not the best in 38 games over a season for 90 minutes. You're never going to be. But for most of that second half, after they equalised, we were by far the better team. We got ourselves together. Again, the fans in the stadium, the connection with the players themselves, picking themselves up. There's a maturity about the team that we've missed for many years.
And then turning around. And then having the equaliser go in, I thought they responded really well. Seeing a few comments saying that the audio is still struggling, so we'll try to get a word on that. But in the meantime, let's go through some super chats. I think you can hear us, it's just a little bit delayed. Andrew says, massive win. We just need... Oh, and now the comments are flying away. Massive win. We just made it through the most concerning stretch post-World Cup. Yep. We've added depth and intact to make a title push. I love this team. Tom says, did you boys see Thomas turn into Usain Bolt? That recovery run when it looked like... Was it... Who was it? It was in Beyond. I can't remember. But... I have to give Manchester United some respect. Hard-fought battle. Both teams played with class, as Jimmy Jam. I completely agree. I think,
United are very
obviously we're on AFTV, but I do my talking tactics with Matisse, and I will make sure to give credit to United. I thought they were good. Franklin says James was being over negative at half time. I disagree, Franklin. Do you think that first half was the same as what we got in the second half? I think Arsenal upped their levels massively, and the players that were struggling gave a whole lot more. I mean, I was critical about Ben White. He came off, whether it was injury or not. Martinelli had a far better second half, ended up being the one who came off for Trossard. So I think the criticism was absolutely fair, and Arsenal responded immensely. And I've got to say, I've got to take this one as well. I want to get this right. Evgeny says, want to get into Tommy... What's that? Evgeny, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Says, want to get into Tomiyasu's performance. He's been solid. I think he's more reliable defensively than White. I thought
you touched on it. That substitution at half time. You were just saying it, bringing off White. He was on a yellow. He looked off it. A few stray passes. Tomiyasu came in, did a great job. Yeah, you called it.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic.
Agree with that.
The way he dealt with the one-on-ones was brilliant. Rashford's very hard to deal with one-on-one. He dealt with him brilliantly.
Rashford is having an unbelievable season.
Yeah,
since the World Cup, he's just a monster.
Yeah, I completely agree.
When he burst onto the scene, he scored against us in that game at Old Trafford. I think he was like 17 or 18. He kind of had a bit of a dip, but this Marcus Rashford's a problem. And again, credit to United. They played really well today, especially that first half.
Jamal says, are we going to finally put some respect on Eddie Nketiah's name?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we have, in fairness. Yeah. But
I'm raving about it more
now. We did it when we needed it most.
Yeah, exactly.
Massive. Lee says, how do you watch and get fan zone at the same time? Well, when you're in fan zone, I believe behind the scenes, you will be able to watch the show and hear what we're saying. But of course, if it's about watching it on YouTube, then you can only have one app at a time, or maybe, some phones will do
maybe
multi-screens or whatever you call
it.
You have to go to the
browser, put it on web mode,
that kind of thing. Yeah. But yes, we will be getting fans in very, very shortly. Before we do, they're just showing on Sky the Bukayo Saka goal. And it's from a real distance.
Yeah.
And you could see that the crowd took a second to get off their feet because it came out of absolutely nowhere. But talk to me about his performance though, because I thought Bukayo Saka was just, and Luke Shaw played well today. That's the credit I got to give Bukayo Saka. I thought Luke Shaw was good, and yet Bukayo Saka still was so strong, direct, went inside, outside. I thought he combined brilliantly with players on the right. I thought his one touch sort of passing the 1-2s in around the penalty area was superb, and what a goal he got on 53 minutes there.
Look, I'm not saying this because we're it's AFTV, so maybe I'm saying it because we're Arsenal fans, but I'm not saying it because we're Arsenal fans. Bukayo Saka is the best young player in Europe at the moment in the world, in my opinion. Right? I don't know if you're still classing Mbappe as a young player, but for me, Bukayo Saka is the number one talent in Europe. So essentially what happened tonight was Luke Shaw, like you said, defended him excellently. Couldn't really, he was doing take-ons and he was getting some success, but couldn't get that kind of opening that we've seen him get this season against other teams. So what does he do there with this goal, right? Like week after week, does the simple things well. It's just goes outside, comes in on his left foot. Eriksen sees him onto his left foot and a great finish. But he can do that from 25, 30 yards. So how do you defend this boy? Like, how do you stop him?
Oh, he's hit it so well.
He's just hit it
We're
perfectly,
just seeing
man.
it here on our screens. It's not quite inside of the foot curled. Yes, it curls away from goal and then back in, but he's hit it with the laces as well. It's a brilliant, brilliant strike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go through some more super chats. Michael says he's having problems with the AFTV app. He says, I keep getting, we're not live on AFTV Plus app. Is that because you're flooded with calls? I want to give you Shakespeare, says Michael. Of course, Michael always sends in those videos. Okay, we'll look into that. We've got a team behind the scenes. We'll look into that. So have a look at your comment and check if there's any issues there. Rob Ron says, United fan here. Good game. Deserved the win. I thought we were your toughest game at home this season. Do you think United get top 4? Rob Ron, fair play to you. I do think we deserved it, but it was a good game. Gary Neville called it a throwback. I thought United were very impressive in a lot of ways. I think could have offered more in the second half going forward, for sure.
Yeah.
But in a lot of the game, we're very competitive, very good.
But you can argue that it was the game plan to come get a point and be happy. When they needed to, they scored.
Yeah.
They recovered very well. Mm-hmm. They looked like they could score. They were put into today, you could say they were dark horses for the title. They still might be, right? Like, I think we're in a title race with 3 teams. I don't see why United are less contenders than City are.
It does feel a long way.
They are in form and they're playing.
You're
really
right.
well.
So Trossard has the ball here.
Yeah.
And he slips into Zinchenko. Yeah, you're right. He does play a big part. Yeah. Fair enough. Dan says, wow, Trossard looked great off the bench. Yeah. 10 out of 10 signing. He looked very good.
So there's the first ball from Trossard to Zinchenko that I thought could be offside, and then there's that second touch into
you don't want goals like that disallowed. I appreciate offside is offside, but I think when you look at it, that is really looking for an offside more than anything.
So if we go into like the debate I kind of wanted to have, right, does VAR kill those moments? Because we were like just in the back of our heads, is he on, but he's miles on. But another way you can look at it is when it was given, it adds to the excitement in the ground. It adds to the excitement between us. Yeah. But you want the right decisions to be made as well.
For all my criticism of officiating and VAR, I do actually believe it's been a net positive.
Yeah.
While I do think, how do I want to explain this? While I do think it's made a lot of errors and it has shown the referees to be more incompetent than I ever thought they were.
Yeah, even with a TV screen. Yeah.
Yes, I do think ultimately they are getting more right decisions than wrong. It's just some of the wrong decisions they get are awful. But it's just the nature, ultimately. Right, let me put it this way. What if, like we thought he was offside, the lino flagged it?
Yeah.
And then you watch it back and realise he was on, and we've been denied 2 points. So I think ultimately,
it's a positive.
I'm happy to reel in my celebration for that kind of goal when ultimately
it's given for the right reasons,
they get the right thing. Bryce says, shout out to Eddie. I was a fan that doubted him. I have been humbled. Look, Bryce, we're all going to enjoy how well he is playing. We're going to take a caller in a sec. Brian says, Xhaka and Zinchenko absolutely dominated the midfield. Zinchenko was everywhere on the pitch, even showing up on the right and is my man of the match. Yeah, he was immense. I agree, Brian. We played Wednesday, had no Casemiro. Proud of United, says Ash. You should be proud of your side. You should absolutely be proud of your side. I won't say much more. Ten
Hag's going to take them back to the top to challenge because
how he adapted to losing, take them back.
How he adapted to losing Casemiro today was really impressive.
Yeah, and they didn't just chuck in McTominay in his role and went with that. They actually had a totally different game plan with the way they distributed their midfield, which I thought was really interesting. Okay, let's say cool. We got Harvey from the US. This is our first post-match call. Let's see, Harvey, how you doing? I'm good. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. I can still hear you, but I don't know if that's coming through. So we'll just power ahead until production say there's any issues. But Harvey, take it away. Give us your thoughts, your reaction to that massive win.
Yeah, man, great game. Great. I was a little bit disappointed in the goals that we gave away because I don't really feel like United did a lot in terms of to create danger for us, even though they were dangerous on the counter. And the 2 goals that they got was, a City ball that Partey gave away and then, a mistake from Ramsdale. So I think that sort of masks a little bit of the dominant performance that we put in, especially in that second half. But apart from that, we didn't let our heads drop. We kept pushing, we kept going. And it seems like the players always had that belief that there's another goal here, and there's another one, and there's another one. And that to me is the sign of a side that doesn't get comfortable, but is confident and positive, that they believe and they don't need to panic. And that is a sign of a title winning team.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought there was a lot of mental challenges for Arsenal to get over. They're conceding the goal, not having their best half. Then when they do turn it around, United get one back. And then it's coming to so late in the game that you can almost be as scared of losing it as you are of not winning it. But actually Arsenal kept going, and they really relied on Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu at the back to just keep sweeping up. And I just think that the mental resilience they're showing is superb.
Also a lot of maturity as well from Arteta, because when Ten Hag took off an attacker and put an extra midfielder there, you could have seen him do the exact same thing that he did in Old Trafford, especially when I think in this sense you feel like we need to get 3 points at home in order to keep City at bay. So he could have easily taken off a defender, put another one to just maintain the same numerical superiority in the midfield, and he didn't do that. He kept things as is. So credit to the manager there for not losing his head, keeping his cool, and having the confidence that we get the goal.
And do you think credit to him as well for taking Ben White off at half-time? Because we were saying here, he didn't have a great first half. He was on a booking. He was making some really sloppy passes, and there were some people in the chat saying he picked up a knock. I don't know about that. So do you think that as well, it's good to see Arteta being proactive in those instances and not taking that chance?
100%, especially the fact that he was on a yellow. And listen, if you're getting cooked defensively, okay, that can happen. There's cover there. But at the same time, going forward, he was giving away a lot of sloppy balls. I heard in the commentary, whether it's right or wrong, that I think maybe he had a little bit of a bug and he wasn't really feeling 100%. So the fact that he made that tactical adjustment, and we're all aware of Tomiyasu's 1v1 defensive abilities, we didn't really see that much from Rashford in the second half. So credit to the manager for being proactive and not taking any risk there.
Yeah, I've got one more question for you, Harvey. By the way, it's fantastic having you live and being able to just chat to you. You know, your videos, as well as many others, have been fantastic to listen to and react to. But, you know, to have you live here is fantastic as well. Let me read you a quote from Zinchenko, apparently post-game. It was shared by at the Arsenal Guns on Twitter. Zinchenko apparently said, "When I arrived, I told the lads, we won't think about top 3 or whatever. We go for the title. Some of them started laughing, but now they start to believe." I mean, what a difference he's made from every aspect. Yeah, defensively he's brilliant. On the ball he's superb. And clearly he's just got a standard that has raised it within the dressing room as well.
You know what? That's what bringing in winners does. Because it's very, I think you can understand there's a project here, and you can understand that, you know, there's some steps we need to take before we're competitive, but you need to embrace that mentality from the very get-go, because then it's very easy to rest on your laurels. You know, you could drop points like against Southampton, for example, which we did this season, and you could think to yourself, you know, we're doing all right. We're still in the top 4. It's like you have to have this mentality of we need to go for the title. And then if you fall short, then you ended up meeting the minimum expectations that you had, which was top 4. But always aim higher, and if you miss, then you know you're still going to be good. But credit to him, man. I think how he contributes to this team, and you see him all over the pitch, being that extra cater, being that extra guy in the link-up is insane. But Granit Xhaka, I think, is my silent, you know, under the radar man of the match, because the job that he has to do positionally to account for Zinchenko's free roll and those defensive parts of the game, and also be able to contribute offensively. What a turnaround from him. So just so many guys in the field that deserve so many plaudits.
I completely and utterly agree, and that's a good way to leave it as well. Harvey, it's been fantastic being able to chat to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it. Let's enjoy the win.
Amazing, absolutely. Let's enjoy. As you can see,
everyone.
Very
good call, man. There's some excellent points here.
Oh yeah, Harvey's fantastic. Always great having him on, and you know, I think it just shows you as well. Well, I think we still got him on screen, bless him. So yeah, there we go. Everyone, that is Fan Zone. That is on the AFTV Plus app. Go download it on iOS. There's a link in the description. You can download it on the Google Play Store as well. And come join us. Come give your thoughts on the win, on the performance. And look, we've kept it very general now. We're gonna take it into sort of discussions about other particular players. But I just love that quote from Zinchenko. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
I mean, we were raving about him at half time, right? Like the impact that he was making. Because out of a very, let's say, shaky first half performance, he brought so much calm into the team, into the passing, you just feel when he's on the ball, you're never really panicked. I think there was a time in the second half he'd given it away, or it was a sloppy pass. He just went and got it back straight away. And that quote really highlights the difference it makes having winners in your team. Now, if you look at, let's say that not just a professionalism, but a core, like a backbone to their team. We have a backbone now, and Zinchenko is a massive part of that. Gabriel and Saliba were a massive part of that. I know, obviously, you know, it's hard to mention every single player, but those two were excellent and just, you know, did their job professionally. You got people like Martin Odegaard who roll up his sleeves. I feel like the team are growing into men, and the presence of people like Jesus and Zinchenko telling them, let's go for the title this year. Why not? It's just incredible, man. Yeah,
we've got some stats here that were shared by Sky Sports Stato. Man of the match they gave to Bukayo Saka, and I think we wondered why. Not because he wasn't brilliant, he absolutely was, but I think Eddie Nketiah with 2 massive goals. Felt Xhaka and Zinchenko were crucial as well. But apparently 70 touches he had. 13 of those touches were in the opposition box, the most this season. Is that for him, for Arsenal, or in any game? I'd be interested. But anyway, 37 out of his 47 passes completed. He created 4 chances, had 5 shots with 2 on target. And that was his 7th Premier League goal this season. 3rd Arsenal player to score in 3 successive Premier League appearances versus Manchester United. He has been... It's easy to forget how young he is because of how long we've had him.
I know. And it's easy to forget, if you tie him down, how many years you can have from Bukayo Saka. Now, obviously, we don't know what the latest is with these negotiations, but it is vital to the future of this football club that Bukayo Saka sees his future at Arsenal the same way Leo Messi saw his future at Barcelona. I'm not saying he is Leo Messi, but I'm saying he's as important to us as Messi is to them, was to them. That 17-year-old kid coming in and just being the core of everything driving the club. If Saka signs to us and commits his future for the next 6 or 7 years, hoping that we get over the line and we add and we build around it, it could be a really good few years ahead for Arsenal.
It's exciting times.
Sign the thing.
It really is. Someone said last minute goal on Fergie's head. I can't stop smiling. He was in the ground. Ice G says, love that quote, James. Is that the Zinchenko one? Yeah, I completely agree. All right, we've got Robert. We've got another caller, and I want to ask Robert about Eddie Nketiah. So let's get Robert in. Robert, how you doing? Welcome to AFTV. Oh, I'm struggling to hear Robert. Is that just on my end? Are you hearing Robert?
No, I can't hear Robert.
Okay, apologies. We're just having a few teething issues. Let's see. I think Robert's trying to fix it.
No.
Say something for us, Robert. I don't know if that's coming through. Oh, bless. I don't know. Production will just work on it. In the meantime, while they're trying to get that fixed. Hello, Robert? They've just changed something in the back. We can hear you. Yes. Okay. As I said, teething issues, everyone. Apologies, but we're getting there. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Can't stop smiling.
Honestly, it was an amazing win. We can hear you. There's a slight delay, but we can hear you. So what we'll do, we'll keep it short because I can see you speaking and then we hear it about 10 seconds later. But I really want to get your thoughts on Eddie Nketiah. Just quickly talk us through your thoughts on the game and Eddie Nketiah's 2 massive goals in his performance overall.
A brilliant performance by him. I mean, every time I see him perform, I keep thinking back to the documentary when he was speaking to one of the players that got loaned out about waiting your turn and having patience and having that hunger. And you have seen that transmission from the start of this season. So he's just producing it now on the field. But he always had that inside of him, at least mentally.
Yeah, I think we are having a few connections issues, Robert. So I think we might have to leave this call and try and get you back in a second. Apologies, but I mean it is. Thank you so much for joining us. Mate.
Spot on though, Eddie Nketiah. So happy for him.
I'm so happy for him. But why do you think he was so kind of laughed at a little bit before.
I think it comes back to this whole cliche, if you will, right? Wenger said it once about Rob Holding. If he'd have cost 50 million, everyone would have raved about him. If we'd have paid 50 million for Eddie Nketiah, and his name was Eduardo Nketiah or something from Italy or wherever it is, right? Everyone would have been raving and going crazy, like, yeah, he's incredible, he's world class, he's this, he's that. Obviously, I'm not saying he is at that level yet, but he's playing excellently at the very top level of world football. The Premier League is arguably the best league in the world. It's got all the talent here, all the money's here. Everyone watches this league of football, and he's leading a team who's like doing a title charge at the top of the table, and he's filling in for Gabby Jesus excellently. So you've got to give him his flowers, man. Like, what more can he do? Well,
he scored the goals. His hold-up play was
excellent,
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, he really is. He's really strong.
Yeah.
It's not easy against Alessandro Martinez, who he's actually. I know people, used to make jokes about his height and stuff, but he's very strong in terms of low centre of gravity and on the ground duels. And then you got Varane, who's a World Cup winning centre half, and played for Real Madrid and has done pretty much everything you could do in the game. I thought Eddie really gave them. It wasn't like Jesus at Old Trafford where he kind of humiliated Martinez, but there was a little bit missing. They were very different performances. In this one, Eddie though very efficient and actually was getting results throughout today.
Absolutely, 100%, man. Like I just, I feel really happy that he put in a good performance. We'll leave it to the callers, actually. I'm gonna ask
go on. We do have another caller, actually. We have Aston. We have Aston in. Let's bring Aston through. Aston!
James, what's going on? It's Aston. I'm here in Orlando at FanFest with NBC. 5,000 people here, all to watch the game live. And boy, was that a game to watch live.
It really, really was. Aston, look, take it away. First, it's great to see you. Obviously, I saw you very recently on a Gooners Pod stream, but great to chat after the game as well, of course, for anyone who doesn't know. And if you don't, where have you been? All the vlogs on AFTV from the summer. We were, of course, out in Orlando. We got to meet you there. The face of the famous away kit, the most sold away kit of all time, I think, or the most sold Arsenal shirt of all time. And honestly, it's great to see you, great to catch up. Just tell us all about it out there and tell us all about your thoughts on the game.
I need a minute because, quiet everybody, I'm going to cook, okay? Listen to me. Listen, governors. Come out from your trenches, your dark homes, from under the bridges, from all the dark places, because once again, Arsenal is in the light. The prodigal son, Mikel Arteta, has returned to wake the beast of London again and to banish those other clubs from our throne room and to take what is rightfully ours. Stand up, say it with chest, say it with pride, say it with everything you've got. We are top of the league and we belong. Arsenal are going nowhere.
Yeah, and you know what?
I agree.
It's so
we belong there.
We
it's
do.
Deserved. Yeah, 100%.
We do. I mean, look, Arsenal, what Arsenal have done in 19 games is put up a point and results tally that mean if we replicate this in the second half, we hit 100 points. Only Man City, in my opinion, the best team we've ever seen in the Premier League, have achieved that. Arsenal, I don't think, have to achieve that to win the league this year. But wow, what a first 19 games it's been. What a first half of the season. Aston, talk to us about your thoughts on the key players. Who got us over the line there? Of course, Eddie with his goals. Zinchenko, massive as well. Break it down for us.
Well, there are a couple of things. First, I want to bring up what you're talking about. We have a better points tally than the Invincibles at this moment right now. And he's doing it with children. Never forget. Put some respect on my manager's name. His name is Mikel Arteta, and he is elite.
You say children, but don't you think they're behaving like men? Like they look mature, they look professional. There's a togetherness. There's a maturity. It's the best word for it.
Yeah, it's like what you were saying before, though. If we tie these guys down, this isn't our peak. They get better.
Yeah.
They get better. And that's what's crazy is we're putting up invincible levels numbers with players that aren't the finished article yet. And that's exciting. Now,
exactly. No one expected this.
when we're talking about the game, you have to. There were the first half. There were some issues. I think there were some especially issues with Ben White. I think there's something wrong there. That's why he got subbed out. But you have to say the last 20 minutes of that game, Zinchenko, Xhaka, and Partey squeezed them to high hell, and then Saka burned. I've never seen anything like that. He just burned them. There was nothing they could do. They were without a clue with what to do when he had the ball. I mean, if it wasn't for a slight deflection that from Eriksen, that was going to be 2 goals there, 2 fantastic goals. Instead, he just got the 1, but still, unplayable. And then when you really, I mean, Eddie Nketiah, you brought up before that, maybe if he had cost 50 million, we would be singing his praises. And I don't think it's that. I think that, again, we need to big up Mikel Arteta. Where Eddie came from and where he is now is night and day. I've watched Eddie Nketiah for years. I've never seen him do this. Mm-hmm. I've never seen him do this. I've never seen him hold up the ball like this. I've never seen him be able to spin defenders like this. Yeah. This is something that we have to give credit to the coaching staff for, because it's what a player he's become. 2 goals against United? That's big man shit. Bings, sorry.
No, go for it. Say it. Shit, I agree.
And 2 good goals as well.
Two different, as we said. I completely agree. Aston, we're gonna leave it there, but I'm gonna just ask you one last question. As I said, fantastic to chat to you, and of course, as you give your answer, do let everyone know as well where they can find you. But are we winning it?
My man. Again, we're winning it, but only if one thing. You, fans at home that are watching this right now, come off your fence. Come off your fence and come into the light, because you need to walk with chest, because that team needs it. It's our job as fans to support them, to act like big dogs, to walk like big dogs, to talk about Saka like he's the best in the league, to tell Chelsea that Eddie Nketiah walks into your team. They need that. They need that as much as we need them. So we only win the league if all of you guys, and I understand the club has hurt you before. I understand the trauma, but even if you don't believe, act like you believe, because they need us right now. And that's what I'm going to ask for all the Gunners. My name's Aston. Again, you can find me at the Gooners podcast. We'll probably be doing a show today. You find me online. My name's Aston. If you can't find me, you're not looking hard enough. Okay.
I love that, Aston. It has been a pleasure as always. You have a great time out in Orlando with all the Arsenal fans. You enjoy it. It's been amazing. Catch you soon.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
See you soon. Oh, so great to hear from Aston. And when the fan base out in Orlando was unreal. Like, I can't even. It needs a whole other show to discuss it, and we probably sort of tried to do it as much justice as we could when we were out there and we did the vlogs. And actually, if you go to AFTV Clips, you'll see that there were a lot of American fans we met out there that said, we can go for the league. And a ball hadn't been kicked in the Premier League yet. They said, we can win the league, why not? And fair play to them. They foresaw a title race, and boy, are we in a title race. We've got Roman next. Let's get Roman's thoughts on it. And I want to ask him, Roman, welcome. How you doing?
Hello, guys. Congratulations with the win. Great feeling.
It's an amazing season. Congratulations to you and the team as well. All us Arsenal fans over the moon. I'm going to take it a slightly different direction here. I want to ask you about Trossard. We only got about 10, 12 minutes from him, but I liked what I saw.
Good cameo actually from him, and I think it's great that we got a player already played in the Premier League who has experience. So we actually saw that he wasn't a newbie. He know what to do, and you see that he was already in action. So gave pass to Zinchenko. So it was a good performance for him. So I hope more to see.
Yeah. Anything you want to sort of touch on? I mean, the Trossard, it's like Roman mentioned there. Trossard played a part in the goal. And I think even though, he doesn't get the assist and all that, officially on the stats board, I think it's just the fact that he was involved in a sweeping move actually. The goal can feel a little messy because it's a deflection, but it's a good move from Arsenal late in the game.
And I think he's spot on, Roman, in that he when he came in, he looked like he'd been playing for Arsenal for years. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's his first game, but he's been playing in the Premier League for years. Yeah. So he understands the crowds, he understands the referees, he understands the way, the culture of the game. So the minute he came on, he just looked comfortable. He looked at home. He wanted the ball. There was a moment where he was bringing the ball out of defence for us and driving us forward. And then obviously he got that ball, played it into Zinchenko, turned and was running at them. And Martinelli's he's been all right since the World Cup, but it's good to have a little bit of competition for your place. Sometimes you can get a bit comfortable. Not to say Martinelli's been bad. He just hasn't obviously been maybe to the heights some other players are. Yeah. And now that Leandro Trossard's there, he's going to push him. They're going to push each other. It's just good to have competition in every position. Sorry, just one very quick thing. And a point of this is when Ben White came off at half-time, none of us stood here and went, "Oh, it's Tomiyasu."
Yeah.
We were like, "Oh, it's levels."
Yeah.
It's still levels. First player comes off, and we're building that depth in the squad in every little position. We're adding, and I like it.
I agree. Roman Tomiyasu was superb, wasn't
he? Yeah. So as you said, so maybe not the best first half for the Ben White, and I think in the beginning for Tomiyasu he had like a tough 2-1 duels, but after that I think he just adapted to the game, to the the pace, and he was great. So a lot of clearances, a lot of duels won. So I think it's, as you said, it's great that we have players who can just came out of the bench and do their job. And it looks like they are not disappointing. They're just waiting for their moment to be a part of this team and to bring their share to the victory.
Yeah. Let me ask about Granit Xhaka, because this whole season has been something I never thought I'd get from Granit Xhaka, I have to be honest. And I'm so happy for him. And I just thought the way as well, he was just a massive part, as Issa rightly mentioned during the watch-along, winning the ball back for that second goal, the cross for the first. I just thought he really led today.
Yeah, and I would like to talk about Granit Xhaka in a pair with Zinchenko, because they usually play together on the same side of the field, and they are swapping the roles. And as I'm Ukrainian, I'm very proud to see that Zinchenko and his level of play. I'm not sure if you know, but he was an Arsenal fan since, I believe, the childhood or even the academy. So there was a photo of him and the guys in the Shakhtar Academy, and they were wearing Barcelona t-shirts, Real Madrid t-shirts, but Zinchenko had an Arsenal t-shirt. So I believe that passion he's showing, the character, it's coming a lot of behind of those years. So, and we see how he lights up the team, the fans, and what he's giving to Arsenal right now.
He's
and of course, as you said, Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, sorry, go on, carry on.
And Granit Xhaka. And I think Granit Xhaka is benefiting from Zinchenko. We saw multiple times when he got a good passes in an open area, so he can contribute to the team. So I think they're a very good duo we have.
Yeah, Zinchenko, right? He's not a left back, is he? He defends that left back. He helps out.
He's like an inverted left-sided defensive central midfielder.
He's like a deep number 10.
Yeah,
incredible.
James, I think you won the bet with the Robbie, because as I'm following the Ukrainian national team, Zinchenko sometimes play in the midfield, I believe, close to the Odegaard role. So I think he had his that inner conflict inside of him, whether he's playing or on the left side or in the midfield. And I think before coming to Arsenal, he had this conversation with Mikel Arteta about his role. And we see that Mikel found a perfect solution for him. So he was playing on the left, and he had really good moments in the midfield.
I agree. Rome, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's such a pleasure to chat to all these amazing fans around the world. Owen with the super chat says, "Congrats, lads, from a United fan. Better team won. Fair play." KG, is this KG? Just pulled up to hold my call from the States. Well played, Arsenal. Hurting, but I see the positives. Big up. Is this KG's real account? Let's have a little look. Go to channel. It is. KG's in the chat. Thank you, KG. Appreciate that. He's taking the L, as he said, and is appreciating Arsenal. He says, yeah, well played, Arsenal. Hurting, but I see the positives. Fair enough. KG, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure chatting football with you. And don't forget to get me on one of those hate-alongs as well, by the way. Real Madrid Arsenal says, James, did you just say the Man City team is the greatest Premier League team ever? That's very disrespectful to the Invincibles. FYI, the Invincibles took their foot off the pedal to ensure the unbeaten record.
Yeah, there's an argument for that as well. We drew a few games towards the end and so on.
Look,
it was a different time. I think football was a different time as well.
And also, I got really into football from the age of 10. I just missed the Invincibles. Now you watch Premier League years, you watch YouTube, you learn about them. Unbelievable team. The best I've ever seen is that Man City 17-18 team. I think they were unreal. I honestly just thought it's also the way they played football. But this is part of the great debate.
Do you mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 27.
All right, so not that much younger than me.
So 17 years. I would say I've been really passionately following
and I guess you just got into the period where you saw some great teams. You saw Mourinho's first 2 seasons winning the title with Chelsea. You saw the 7-8.
The
7-8
towards
United
the end
team.
of that, I was getting I saw him return. I saw United's
double
three-peat team.
Three-peat team, yeah.
I saw who else was a great side? Obviously the Liverpool, the Klopp and Guardiola battle.
Yeah.
Thought both Antonio Conte's Chelsea title-winning side and Mourinho's second stint. I thought they were really good sides as well.
I think it's one of those things with you can't really compare eras because the style of the football's different, the nutrition's different, the professionalism, the standards are so much higher. But yeah, I think it's a good. They're a good shout, but I'll go for the Invincibles, and that's where my loyalty lies.
My first game was a 3-0 win against Watford at the Emirates. I think it was our first season at the Emirates. So, I never got to go to Highbury. I know that it's a shame, but the Emirates here is all I know, which is why it deserves a Premier League trophy. Now we've got Cameron, I believe. Let's get Cameron's thoughts as well on the game. Cameron, how you doing? Welcome to AFTV and the Fan Zone show.
I'm great. Hey, man, it's good to be here. First time caller from Ontario. I'd like to propose 2 upsides and a downside.
Go for it.
So the first upside, Zinchenko. I mean, wow, his passion is unrivaled. I don't know if you guys saw, I believe it was our 3rd goal at the end there. He ran over to the fans, embraced the fans, connected with them. You saw him screaming the entire time. Just absolutely incredible passion from him. I think he could be maybe not a future captain, but a secondary, a backup of some sort. Arteta got him for a reason. I think part of that is his ambition of having the team more connect with the fans, which I think it's just been exemplary, absolutely amazing. The second upside, Nketiah. I mean, come on, man. 2 goals against Man U. That's incredible. I really don't think we need a backup at this point. We have Trossard. Jesus will be back soon, but even when he's back, I think he's going to be the backup, honestly. I mean, he's good for link-up play, but he doesn't convert very well. Nketiah does. And then just on my downside, I thought the stadium was a bit quiet. I don't know if it was just my TV or something, but it didn't really seem like there were a lot of times where all you could hear was the clapping. So I was expecting a bit more from the home fans, but outstanding game. I was closing my eyes at the end there. It was terrifying, but happy to get the win.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. We didn't have the commentary, so I'm not sure about the fans. But what I do know is there's absolute pandemonium when it came to the winning goal, and I can imagine the Emirates
incredible.
I can imagine the roof absolutely went off. Let's get your final thoughts, Cameron, on the title race and just where, how is it time to believe? Aston with a really passionate speech on the show saying, listen, it's, we gotta believe to help the team as well. I mean, we've got to be a part of that journey. And do you agree? Do you believe? Is this the year it's going to happen?
Saka said in the post-match that we need to be humble, and I think we do need to be humble. I don't think we can start shouting from the rooftops and bragging. Of course, not yet. But I do think we can be confident. Our team's confident. I think we should match that, be behind them absolutely. As Ashton was saying, we're at 50 points. We're doing better than the Invincibles with mature children. I really think we have it, not in the bag. We do need to be confident and humble at the same time. But I do think it's the year. Yes.
Man, amazing. Fans are believing. I love it. Cameron, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Amazing. What we're going to do, let me just check. Because I do think we have a few more callers. What we'll do these last 10 minutes is we'll take some more calls. So for everyone jumping on, remember, you can see it on the screen. Get involved on AFTV Plus, the app. You've got it all there. Just hit the link in the description. Download the app, and then you'll see it there. Follow the instructions, sign up, and you'll be able to give your thoughts on the show. Now, I do believe we have some other callers, so we're going to get their thoughts for the next 10 minutes, and we'll rattle through a few quickly so everyone gets to have their say. And who's joining us now?
Daniel.
Welcome, Daniel. Daniel, we met the other day. Good to have you back.
Thank you, James. Thank you, AFTV, for having me.
Thank you for coming. Honestly, look, we're going to let you take it away. So everything you want to say it now, as we've got a lot of callers to get through. But Daniel, it's great to have you back. Go for it.
I have a lot written down, but because of time, I'm not going to go through everything right now. I just want to talk about Tomiyasu's introduction. Tomiyasu's introduction really stabilized that right-hand flank. And you see, the second half, Rashford was nowhere to be found. I think that was a masterclass from Nketiah. And just to round it up, I want somebody to call on Camps, Rants, and Bants, and KG. I want them to hold that, because we are top of the league, my bro.
Yeah, in fairness, KG's been in the comments already and said, you know what, he'll take the L, and it is what it is. Look, give us your prediction. Are we winning it? One game at a time. See, it's a big question. We're only halfway through, but I think halfway through, it's the right question to ask. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Amazing. Who have we got next? Who else is? We've got Rupin. Rupin, welcome. Rupin, welcome. How you doing?
Hi.
Oh, can you hear us, Rupin? Is that coming through? Oh no, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on the game, Rupin?
Hi.
Oh, I think we're having connection issues. That's such a shame.
It's just a delay.
Okay, let's try and get Rupin back in a sec. But in the meantime, we'll get JR in. JR, how you doing?
Doing great. I'm doing great, man. I mean, my voice is just coming back. My whole neighborhood is awake because they're wondering if I'm gonna scream my head off anymore.
I get it. I so get it. I've had my neighbours before say to me, was everything all right last night? I went, yeah, just watching the Arsenal game. So trust me, I get it. Look, give us your thoughts on that win. Massive, massive win.
Well, I mean, it was looking a bit dodgy with Partey. A few missed passes, but I think sometimes we're so used to the excellence of Partey that we're not used to him making those kind of mistakes. But for me, Zinchenko, man, he is a breath of fresh. He's amazing. Yeah. And I don't know, obviously Saka for that goal and Eddie for his goals. They get all the for this, but man, Zinchenko is just pulling the strings. He's bringing the whole thing together. I think he's an amazing addition to our team.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been absolutely superb. But who did you go give man of the match to in the end?
For me, it was... I loved Zinchenko. I loved Xhaka's performances, but you can't look past Eddie.
Who would you give it to, JR? Man of the match?
actually would have given it to Eddie because I think, especially St. Lucian's down here, they give Eddie a lot of flack. He should have got 14 or whatever. But he does the business and he does do the dirty work. He does press. He does do all the things that Jesus does. He's just maybe not as technically gifted as Jesus. But he does the job and he's scoring the goals. So for me, Eddie.
Fair enough, man. JL, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, a few technical issues there. But have we got Rupin back? Have we managed to get Rupin back? I'm not sure. Just while we find, yes, Rupin, welcome back. Is it working? I hate it when fans join and we can't hear them. It's such a shame. Okay, we'll go to Gosha at the moment as. Oh, Rupin, it was delayed. It was too delayed, yeah. So we could hear Rupin, but it was too much of a delay. So Rupin, if you're hearing this, real apologies there. Gosha, welcome. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Slight delay, but we can hear you. Give us your thoughts on the game.
Good. Yes, finally something's working. Oh, I am so happy, man. I am so happy. I have a bunch of United friends around me. They've been talking to me to say, we're going to beat you, all of that. Oh, I'm so happy. I hate those United fans, man.
Hey, I get it. That's what rivalry is all about. Give us your man of the match, your thoughts on the game in general and where it leaves us now.
I think the man of the match should be Eddie, because even though Zinchenko and Saka is playing well, but you need to get people to finish the passes that they're feeding in the box. So I think Eddie's gonna get the man of the match, and I think next week if we beat Man City, or even we draw, we don't need to beat Man City. We just need to hold a draw, and we're champion, man. I think if we don't lose to Man City next week, we can win the league.
Is it next week's game the FA Cup game?
It's the FA Cup, but I mean...
I get your point. When we play them after that in February, definitely we have to win that game.
Yeah, and also it's a mentality thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if we can send a message
confidence,
by even beating them in the Cup.
And also, I just want to add something. The Arteta song, when are we going to get to the Champions League to winning the title? I think we need to change that song.
I completely agree. We've got Super Mick Arteta, and then the lines are Arsenal on the way to Champions League. But it's
Arsenal going to win the Premier League.
Yeah, it's got to be. Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. It's got to be.
Exactly. We are winning the Premier League, guys. Come on, you Gunners!
I love it. Ghost, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have we got one more caller? We've got. Hey, welcome, Stephen Alexander. How you doing? This is so nice. We get to speak like properly. It's great to see you both. How are you doing?
It's very nice to get to talk to you too.
Honestly, it's fantastic.
Hey James, I'm good.
Honestly, this is amazing. Issa, I know you've done a few full times, but they've been sending in videos from day one on full time as well. Amazing. And now to be able to chat to you properly, it's just fantastic.
Where are you guys?
Well, so we're in Pennsylvania. We're at home. We just watched the game. We're still so excited about it. And, thanks to AFTV, you guys have really been in the front of the line and trying to get fans, to communicate with the team and get involved. So this is another great opportunity for us. And, we're really excited to be a part of it.
It's fantastic to have you guys. Honestly, look, take it away. I'm not even going to ask questions. Say everything you want to say. You know how it's done. Give us your thoughts on that massive win.
Think of the game.
Yeah, I thought that we struggled in the beginning of the game, but we performed in the second half, and especially Bukayo Saka. It was three players: Saka, Nketiah, and Zinchenko. Zinchenko was everywhere. Nketiah, he was resilient because a lot of fans, they've been criticizing him, they've been hard on him, but he's really waited his turn, and he's been playing so well now. I like what you guys say. If he was Brazilian, Adinho, for 50 million, everyone would be talking about him like he's the next Haaland and Mbappe, but because he's
Eddie Nketiah from the academy, exactly.
I'm so proud of him. So up the Arsenal and a great win today.
Yeah. And James, I'd just like to add, I think as a fan base, we're always looking at the price tag that the players are coming in. And this really has been a model for most teams that really you don't need to spend 150 million on the player. Look at Trossard today. Yeah. Despite that price tag, he comes in and he actually makes a difference. And, finally, James, because I know we have a short time, I just want to say, for me, this is really special, the renaissance that Arsenal is going through, because since my son has been born, I've been trying to get him to support Arsenal. And it was tough because he never used to see us win. I at least got to see Arsenal win. For him to actually see the history and to enjoy and be a part of it, I think is only going to increase the fan base and draw more fans to us. But it's just really nice to share this moment with him. So thanks again for giving us this opportunity.
I couldn't agree more. That's really lovely what you said there. And look, I understand that. Because like I said earlier on the show, I was about 10 when I started supporting Arsenal, and it was really the Emirates era is all I've ever known. And it was, there were dark times, and there were some very good teams. Look, a lot of clubs, a lot of fans would love 4 FA Cups, in the last 8-9 years. So don't get me wrong, I don't take that for granted, but I absolutely understand that sense of, yeah, but have I ever really seen Arsenal act like the club everyone says they are? And sometimes I felt like that's been held against me in a weird way. Almost like I don't understand what the club means or whatever. But, I always knew, over the years, Arsenal have been close. Let's get it right. There have been times where that Fabregas Van Persie era, 1 or 2 more players, and, that could win a team. The beating Barcelona, the FA Cups. There have been some great Ozil, Sanchez. Yeah. But this team feels really special, and I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. And I'm so glad that we get to chat about it after games as well. So, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Come on, you Gunners!
Yes, ending it with the signature. Come on, you Gunners. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch you soon. Amazing. I think we've got one more caller. We'll make this our last. Who have we got? Sorry. It's Michael! Oh, how you doing? I can't hear you, though. It's not coming through. Oh, Michael, I can't hear. Is it just me? Can you hear Michael?
No, I can't. We'll go to Ryan. Let's try to get that back, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Now we can hear. Now we can hear.
Can you get it?
Yeah, now we do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What I love about this game is that there is so much in Shakespeare about Edward the Black Prince. But what I really want to talk about is Pep Guardiola, about the change in his demeanor over the last year, as he goes from being friendly and patronizing toward Mikel, like, oh, he's my friend, my beloved student, I hope he makes top 4. And then it starts to dawn on him that he's no longer the best manager in the Premier League. Now, now does he feel his title loose about him like a giant's robe on a dwarfish thief?
I love it. Honestly, you do make your football analysis sound like poetry. I love it. Honestly, Michael, are we going to win it? Do you think we're going to win the Premier League? Oh, it's disappeared. Oh, no.
I don't think there's a surprise what the answer is.
He was about to say yes, and then disappeared. Now, I think I've just heard in production, we do have one more. We have Ryan. All right, we're going to end with Ryan. Ryan gets the final say. Ryan, welcome. How you doing, man? I know he said he's good. I can lip read, but we can't hear anything. Let's just try one more time. Ryan, go again.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can. Yes. Give us your thoughts. You're rounding off the show.
Mentality, man. Mentality. James, what have I said to you when I saw you on the train a few months ago? Like, this team, man, like from top to bottom, we have a spine now through Ramsdale to Saliba, Gabriel. Partey didn't have the greatest of games, but Partey, Xhaka, and then we have a lot of width now. Like Saka, Martinelli, to a T today. Man United Luke Shaw has done well in his last few games, but Saka was just playing out of his skin today. Zinchenko as well, being inverted, coming into the midfield. He was out of this world today, Zinchenko. Yeah. But we've gone a few goals down this season. And I remember the Fulham game where the fans were criticising Gabriel. And ever since that game as well onwards, he's eradicated a lot of mistakes out of his game. And I just don't feel the Emirates is becoming a cauldron now. It's a fortress, and the amount of teams that even when we go a goal down, I just believe we're going to come back and win. Today's game, we played wicked, but when it went 2-2 and Lissandro Martinez equalised, I went, a little bit of the PTSD comes in, and you think to yourself, are United gonna come away with a draw, or is it like, you know how they say Fergie time? Are they gonna get a late winner? And then we just got the other end. And when Eddie Nketiah scored, when they pointed, I think the VAR, like, they were looking at it for a little while, and I thought to myself, this can't be like. But
ruled out.
I'm just proud of the boys today, man. Like, we're top of the league, 5 points clear. To be honest, I think we can win it, but I'll be more confident after the City game. I think February the 15th is
day.
The biggest day. We gotta make sure. I'm trying to get tickets for the game, but it's just so hard to get a ticket at Arsenal nowadays.
For me as well, I feel like those, even those games, get 2 points out of them. Just fine.
Just stop them catching
up. Just get 2 points. Yeah, that's it. I'd be happy with that. Anything on that's a bonus.
Completely agree.
Just beat everyone else like you've been doing.
Exactly. Brian, absolute pleasure to chat to you. You've rounded off the show.
As well.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Just one quick word. Eddie Nketiah as well. I've been one of his biggest critics. Like, honestly, even he's put egg on my face a bit. Like, we've got to get behind him, and Trossard coming on as well. I think it just shows that we've got a lot of versatility and creativity in our team. And honestly, he's doing well stepping in for Jesus, man. But let's just keep this going, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I think that's what we were talking about before, turnaround stories, right? So Eddie Nketiah and Saka have had two very different turnaround stories. Eddie's more as a player, but Shaka's as well has been as a player and as a human, as an individual, right? From someone who many of us didn't want to see play for the football club again. I'll be honest, I was one of them. I think there were 60,000 people in the ground that night who never wanted him to play for this club again. And he's turned it around. I don't remember a bigger character arc than that in the Premier League era anyway. And Eddie Nketiah, another one, an academy product. I think there's a super chat there, by the way. I don't want to get ahead of you, but that says, who else can beat Man United with 3 goals that cost £0? Players that have come through the academy, and you've seen those pictures of Eddie Nketiah bulking himself up over the last few years. He's taken it seriously, man. Credit to him. He's taken his chance.
Completely agree. Ryan, always a pleasure to chat to you. Thank you for rounding off the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries. Pleasure as always, James, man.
Amazing.
Honestly.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to take these off. Oh, there we go. I can hear myself again. Honestly, been an absolute pleasure chatting to you all. As you can see, that is Fan Zone. That is AFTV Plus. You go to the app, download it on iOS, Google Play Store, whatever it is, and you can join us. All those people who called in, none of it, pre-planned, not people we've given a link to. Literally anyone around the world can just go on the app and wait. To anyone who is waiting and we didn't get on hand, we are really sorry, but we are running this not just after every game. In fact, most days during the week as well. We will be inviting you all to have your say. There'll be more reaction tomorrow from the game, and I don't know if Fan Zone's on later tomorrow, but there will be through the week. We'll keep reacting to this game. We'll keep looking ahead to Friday night's game against Man City. And yeah, lots of reaction from bias to tactical. Graham's actually in the building. I've just spotted him. So we'll chat a little bit about what tactical insight looks like tomorrow. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Issa, immense as always.
Thank you, my bro.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to production. Thank you to everyone who's called in. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. And you know what? I nearly didn't read these final super chats. Tom says 65th min. I really wanted Arteta to bring on Tierney for Odegaard and play Zinchenko as the playmaker. My man of the match. Shows you how good he was. What a win from Arsenal, says Red Smoke. Great win. We showed class all the way through the game. Zinchenko, wow, doesn't get the plaudits from pundits. 35 million a steal. Completely agree with that. The super chat from Andre. No text, but thank you. Kayani says money. That's all. Okay. And that's it. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you to everyone. Well done. Arsenal, 5 points clear again with a game in hand on Man City. And we are at the halfway stage. 19 games played, 50 points on the board. Let's leave it there.